The Indiana Hoosiers just missed a bowl game last season after making 2 straight. 4 losses by 8 or fewer points. They add Arizona transfer Brandon Dawkins at QB, have made so much defensive progress under Tom Allen. Jonathan Crawford, who we were speaking with just a moment ago, among those expected to key that group. The Hoosiers coach, Tom Allen, is with us now. And, Coach, embarking on your second full season as head coach, I think that first year is always such a learning experience for the players and for the staff. So give us a sense of what you learned about your program in year 1.
You know, I think that when you transition from being the defensive coordinator only to being both the defensive coordinator and the head coach, that was a significant change for me. And I think that the biggest thing I learned was the power of delegation, you know, with our coaches, and to be able to trust them, to be able to do the things that I need to be able to get done, to be able to fulfill both roles. And I think that that was challenging at times, for sure. I think with the addition of the 10th coach, that's been something that's really going to help us, I believe, and we've addressed it accordingly by bringing in Kane Womack on our defensive side of the football to be able to allow me to be able to do some more things administratively at times. I want to stay in the role as defensive coordinator for this season, and I just feel like that it's critical that when I walk out of that room, that the defensive coaches continue to move forward and with either game planning or film study or whatever we're working on at the time. So I think that was a big part. And the also part was the game day management, you know, of being able to, as a defensive coach, when the offense is on the field, that I'm back there making adjustments at times and then managing the clock and working with the press box and all of our the variables that are involved with that. So to me, those are kind of the 2 things that stick out that we've had to grow through and learn, and I think we'll be better in year 2.
So what are the advantages of doing both, especially the defensive coordinator?
Well, you know, the biggest advantage for me is the fact that, I got this job, I think, in a lot of reasons because we changed the culture on the defensive side of the ball and because we played a lot better defensively. And so oftentimes when you walk away from your strength and just become a CEO of the program, you lose the very person that was involved with that side of the football's turnaround. And so I love being the defensive coordinator. I really do. And I am not ready to walk away from that. I really don't. I think that's one of my strengths, and I think our team improved from even year 1 to year 2 defensively. And I believe that as I get better at managing both roles, I think that we'll get better as a football team. But, you know, my strength is coaching the defense and motivating the team. And I want to stay in both of those roles at this time.
Coach, you mentioned the 10th assistant, but you also made some changes in sports performance. Mm-hmm. And I'm a little biased. I like both of these guys because they trained my son for a short period of time. Can you talk to me a little bit about the growth they've made, your team has made, in the performance areas?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I believe when we hired Dave Ballou and Dr. Matt Ray as our 2 lead guys in the weight room, I think it was a game changer for us. I really do. I love the way they brought an accountability to our workouts, an intensity to our workouts, the motivational piece. The growth has been obvious in our players and their bodies and their physical growth, the confidence level that they've instilled in our guys, in the way that they've prepared, you know, from January till now, and the immediate feedback that their system gives our players and the motivation that it creates has been awesome. I just really, you got to go play the game and you got to get better, you know, in your skill on offensive defensive player. But from a physical development perspective, which I think is one of the key things we have to do great at Indiana, is develop our players. We hit a home run in hiring those 2 guys.
You're going to be young on defense. Yes. Does that impact how you call the game on offense, or the style of offense, or the clock management, time of possession, all those things?
I think so. You know, I felt last year going in that our defense was going to be the strength of our team, and it was. And I knew we were going to be young on offense, and then we had a lot of injuries that kind of made us even younger, you know, throughout the course of the season. So I believe that my big thing is I still want us to be we're going to be a tempo offense, but I want to be able to control the tempo of that offense. And I think that to me is the emphasis that we're going into the season with, and that because we understand that we're going to be young on the defensive side of the football, and we're going to have to, our offense is going to have to carry us. We're going to have to run the football better. And I think that's a big part of us being able to control the tempo, being able to affect third downs, and allowing us to be able to be a better football team, because that to me is something that was really lacking In 2017, it's got to be changed.
So when you say control the tempo, you mean intentionally slow it down at times?
At times, yes, exactly. To where you're not going at a high speed all the time, you know. And to me, I just believe controlling that, because as a defensive coach, you know, when you don't know when it's going fast or when it's slowing down, you're just reacting to that. It makes a difference. You know, I want to be able to, if I know they're going to be fast all the time, I can approach it a certain way. If I know they're going to be slow all the time, I approach it a certain way. When that varies, I think that gives me the advantage on the opposite side of the football, and I don't like that defensively.
Are you going to set a timetable when you want to name the starting quarterback? Have the guy that's going to be leading this team this year?
Don't want to set a timetable, but I don't want to wait until the very last week of fall camp, you know. But at the same time, I need to see, you know, in all fairness to all three guys, you know, I want to see all of them, you know, as they have an equal opportunity to lead our football team and move the football during fall camp and be able to, you know, see how they interact with their players. And because the bottom line is that the team has to believe in them, and they got to be able to say, hey, we get that guy the ball one more time, he's going to take us down and go win the game. And that's the mindset I want to see our team to be able to embrace, and that's part of the evaluation process.
Compare your offensive line to maybe the past 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I would say we are deeper than we've been since I've been there. We're bigger and stronger than we've been since I've been here. And obviously a big part of that was having several guys last year that had multiple injuries, which caused younger guys to have to play maybe a little sooner than we thought they would. And so their development was sped up. Hurt us last year at times, will help us this year. I just think that you need 10, 11, 12 guys that you can rotate in there and play, and we're getting to that point, you know. So if you talk to our strength staff, they'll tell you that is the strength of our team right now, is our offensive line, which is a great sign for me as the head coach, and it excites me.
When you have established players that transfer into your program, how do you handle, I guess, the egos or even the temperament of the guys that they're coming in to compete against?
Sure.
How do you manage that?
Well, I think you're up front from day one. You know, you're very transparent with them, what your expectations are, and even as you recruit them, because it's a different dynamic. I mean, it's a totally different type of role that a guy may be coming into play, and the position demands it as well. The quarterback position to me is different than the defensive lineman, you know, and so, but it was very important that a guy like Brandon Dawkins had the right personality coming into our team. Because if he came in with all the focus on himself and wanting to make this about me and, hey, I'm going to come in and be the guy and all that and turn his teammates off, then it's going to be a negative situation. If he comes in and says, you know what, I'm coming here to compete. I know I'm not going to be given anything. All I want to do is help this football team win. And that's what I've seen him do. He's got a dynamic personality about him, and I love what he's brought. I love how hard he works, and now he's got to go prove that he's the guy.
Bunch of rule changes, recruiting calendar, recruiting rules, and the redshirt rule where you can play 4 games. Comments about both those rules?
You know, the redshirt rule, to first, you know, I think it's a great rule. I don't think I've heard anybody say otherwise. Right. It's great for young men. It's great for our program. It's something that I've been trying to push for a while, and I feel like that it was a right decision to make. We're going to have to do a really good job, though, of having a great plan as a staff. You'll always have freshmen that you're going to play, you know, more than just those 4 games, and that's fine. But the guys that you put in that basket that are going to be in that redshirt potential, you have to make sure they're ready to play. And to me, the special teams is a big part of that. So we have to have a great plan in place, and we're working on that right now to be able to say, okay, we're going to get these guys ready to play in these windows of games, and these guys ready to play in these windows of games. And then you might, per the position, you may have to save a game or 2 for late in the season for a certain guy, just to be able to know that, hey, we maybe need that guy, you know, at a certain spot where it might be a little thinner, you know. So I just think that we have to do a great job as coaches, because you go on the road, you can travel 70 guys, but you can't take them all. You know, so you got to make sure that those guys are ready to play on both special teams and on offense or defense based on their role. And I think that it can be a great, great asset to your program.
And I would think that would help you mature as a player as well, because now you know that you have to be dialed in at all times.
No question. My son just went through this a year ago, where he pretty much kind of knew he was going to redshirt, and it's just not the same, you know. But if you know that you're imminently, potentially going to be playing, everything intensifies. And I just think they're going to be more engaged, so I think it's going to really be a positive.
In your son's case, he just blamed it on the narrow-mindedness of the head coach. Right? Yeah, right. Just take a shot there. Give us a sense here. You've been in this program now for 2 years, 1 year as the head coach. You know how competitive this division is. So what's Indiana's niche? How does Indiana put together a program that competes at the very top of the East?
Well, the first step in that niche is being able to recruit to guys that you want in your program. And I love the last 2 classes that we brought in. There's no question that you got to develop a lot of those guys. The class that we just signed is talented a class as we've had here in a long, long time. And after we got them on campus, our strength guys, because they were the ones that kind of got a chance to spend the most time with them, they agree. And they've been extremely impressed with the quality of the athlete that we have in that class. And so now we got to develop those guys, and we got to do it again and again and again. But to me, it's about the niche to me is the kind of young men you're going to attract, the kind of style of offenses you're going to have, how we're going to play defense, and how it all meshes together. And for me, it's about, number one, is toughness. And toughness for me is defined by how you run the football. On the offensive side of the football, how you stop the run on the defensive side of the football. The second part of that culture that I want here, as far as a football identity, is I want us to be a speed football team. I want us to have great tempo on offense, but be able to control the tempo. I want us to play with fanatical effort and speed on defense, playing really, really fast. And I want us to be able to recruit speed and develop speed. I want us to be a speed university in terms of how we develop it and how we attract it. And we've done that in a lot of little things right now, and Dr. Ray is a big part of that mentality. And the last area culturally is I want us to be a turnover-creating machine on defense. I want us to be a ball security, protect the football on offense. Those 3 things to me is what I want Indiana football to be on the field.
And, of course, part of that is recruiting and attracting the right guys.
Absolutely.
You guys are in the midst of a big renovation project, the South End Zone project. Bring us up to date on where that stands and how you think it's impacting your program.
I'm really excited about it. It's going to be done here in a couple weeks, so it'll be ready for us when we start fall camp. And we'll have all of our meals in there, or the training facility will be in there. It'll be a very, very innovative, comprehensive player development facility, all the way from sports science to career opportunities for our players. And to me, we just hired a new nutritionist that's done a phenomenal job. That's been an area that we really struggled since I've been there, and that goes hand in hand with bringing in Coach Ballou. And it's the first thing he talked to me about was, we got to really address this issue. And he was involved with us getting the right guy to bring in here, and that's kind of taken off in terms of you can't train the way we've been training and then not fully nutrition our guys off the field and help us develop that way. And that, to me, is a big part of it. That's going to be done here. The team room is going to be renovated here in a couple weeks. It'll be done by the time that we are in fall camp. And then a year from now, we'll have a brand new locker room, players lounge, and football-only training room. So exciting times at Indiana.
Indiana head coach Tom Allen, we look forward to participating in those exciting times.
I want to have a meal.
2 weeks from now.
For a meal.
There we go. Yeah.